Hear now from the Holy Gospel according to St. Matthew. Glory to you, O Lord. Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea when Herod was king. Now after Jesus' birth, wise men from the east arrived in Jerusalem, and they asked, "Where is the one who was born to be king of the Hebrews? We saw his star rising and have come to worship him." When King Herod and all Jerusalem heard about this, they became disturbed. He called together all the chief priests and the experts in the scriptures and tried to find out from them where the Messiah was supposed to be born. And they told him, "In Bethlehem, in Judea." The prophet wrote about this. "Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, you are by no means least among the leaders of Judah. A leader will come from you. He will shepherd my people Israel." Then Herod secretly called the wise men and found out from them exactly where the star had appeared. As he sent them to Bethlehem, he said, "Go and search carefully for the child. When you find him, report to me so that I may go and worship him too." After they heard the king, they started out. The star they seen rising led them until it stopped over the place where the child was. They were overwhelmed with joy to see the star, and when they entered the house, they saw the child with his mother Mary. So they bowed down and worshipped him. Then they opened the treasure chest and offered him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And God warned them in a dream not to go back to Herod. So they left for their own country by another road. This is the gospel of our Lord, and together we say, "Praise to you, Lord Christ." Please be seated. Grace, mercy, and peace be with God our Father, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and together we say, Amen. So if my little friends had parents that brought them to church today, we'll be talking about the three wise men. A little bit extra than what I'm going to be talking with you about. So history tells us that there were these three who were very learned from a distance. Historically, the names that are assigned to them are Casper, Balthazar, and Melchior. People who were your next door neighbors, right? How many of you have a Balthazar next door? But these three came from afar, and as we have heard, they brought gifts to the child. There's also another story that was unearthed, that was hidden in the Vatican archives for many years, and a researcher brought the text to life and translated it. And so there's actually a Gospel of the Magi that, if you want to buy it from Borders, is an interesting read. It's another take on Magi coming in to find Jesus. If you do, go out as a bookworm and get that and read it. It's not too long. It'll probably take you all an evening to read it. Don't be surprised if the story does not exactly match up. But don't let it disturb you. It's an interesting tale. And the things that we learn from things like the Gospel of the Magi and from the tale of the wise men coming in is that these people who were very learned, had a lot of book smarts, they show us in the text that they were open for something new. They had not closed their minds off to the possibilities that life can bring. They were willing to listen and to follow where the divine might lead them. And that's the true beauty behind the story today, is that these three came from wherever it was they came from, and there's debate over that, how far away they came. That they came at the urging of God in order to meet the enfleshment of God, the manifestation, the epiphany of the holy meeting us in this place. And certainly, at a time like this, or at any time in our history, it's good to know that we're not alone. Especially when many of you maybe awoke this morning. I saw before I went to bed last night how terrorists had bombed a nightclub in Turkey on New Year's Eve. And when we hear about the other tragedies going on in our world today, God does things, as I said before, God walks with us to meet us in the midst of these things so that we can pick ourselves up and move ahead. We can honor those who have died. We can pray for peace and for renewal for everybody going forward so that we can get on with this gift that is life and know it more fully. But also in the text we hear about what these three wise men did when they came. They brought the gifts: gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Things that we probably remember from our Sunday school days. And when those of us who were in plays back in the day, maybe some of us carried representations of those things. Maybe the chocolate and the gold wrapper that we had to eat before we actually said our lines. But, gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Now, these things were precious back in the day, and so that's why they were written into the story, to indicate that homage to God, giving God the best, is what needs to happen from all of us. But it represents for us today what perhaps we are bringing forward. And we're not just talking about dollars and cents, although feel free to fill the offering place to an abundance all through the year so that ministry can continue and enter this place, so that Christ can be made known. But also, what else do we bring to the table? Hopefully, ourselves. And not only to the service of the church, where many of you serve in various capacities. When I came in yesterday, one of our diligent people was in the office, working on the computer, getting financial stuff taken care of for us. Thank you very much for that. And people who bring their talents and music to singing. People who are willing to stand up and read. I know there are some people that would faint and wilt if they had to just get up and read. But all those who come and fix leaks in our bell tower, people who are willing to go and clean up a mess in the bathroom, those are all great to be done in and around the church, but it's the wider world. How do we meet the world in general? And this church does a lot of that through outreach efforts. Judy and Marie lift up opportunities, both with Zion and directly to be the hands and feet of Jesus, to bring the gifts that we have out into the world, to be a witness. And so the Magi represent that for us. What they bring are representations of what is what we are going to bring to God, to Christ, our whole selves. This breaking in came to help us step away from being overwhelmed by the things in life that tend to nip at our heels, as I mentioned to you in preaching before. This manifestation has been recognized beyond the broader Levant, where Jesus grew up, by these wise men coming in from afar. It represents that God's glory has been made known further than the manger in Bethlehem. It represents our call to come and to spread that good news, which it truly is for us. May we take away from the story of the Magi this blessedness that reaches far and wide. May it touch us in our hearts, and may we allow ourselves to be stirred, to be graced, not only here within the community of the faithful, but outside of its walls as we go forth each and every day. In Jesus' holy name we pray, and we say together this morning,